that.
Hey guys, we're back for episode 3 of the Pray for Growth podcast.
We made it through.
Yep, where growth is a journey, so let's keep learning. The topic for this episode is unlearning to relearn.
Unlearning to relearn.
Yes, breaking
unlearning
free
to
relearn.
Yes.
Breaking free from limiting beliefs.
Right.
So we all grow up with certain beliefs, obviously, about our success, relationships, even spirituality.
That is true.
So this episode, we're basically going to dive into the beliefs that we had to unlearn so that we can step into a better space of healing and growth. So let's get into it. What's one belief you grew up with that you later realized was holding you back? Let me give you that again. What's one belief you grew up with that you later realized was holding you back?
There are so many.
Yeah, that's a loaded question. Okay.
I was gonna say something, but I did not want to do heavy stuff today.
This is what it's about.
It's a heavy week.
That means you might need to do it.
Still need to do it. It's the first thing that came up. I would say that growing up in a very religious household, to feel like that God did not love me because of who I was.
That is deep.
And that took years of unlearning that so that I could actually love myself. Because it was the thing that was holding me back.
Yeah.
Just because of how I was raised,
Right.
Did not want to say that.
I don't even know what to say to that because that is deep. That is heavy. I know it's probably an overarching theme of your life. You probably have to go back and revisit it time and time again. Because I'm sure there's other things that come up in your adult life that stemmed from that and you don't even realize it. At least for me.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
I think the thing I believe, and this may not be true for everyone who have grown up in a religious household, that when religion is such a heavy part of your life, it permeates all of your thinking because everything is tied back to pleasing God or pleasing whatever, deity is in your faith, that you worship. And so you realize that all the way down to what you wear, how you interact with people have all been informed by this belief system. And when you discover that you are something that does not align with this belief system, it starts to make everything else misalign because you're like, well, if that's not true, then what if these other things are not true either? So you're right. There are still aspects of things that I believe about the world that was informed through the lens of Christianity that I go back and I have to reevaluate.
Yeah.
So that, and you're right. That is a big thing because I'm always questioning and
you have to question that system too, to
right.
even come to the conclusion that it has nothing to do with you. Like what makes up that belief system and what insecurities or internal things are they trying to cope with by being a part of that system. For me, when it comes to religion, because my grandma is very, very religious. Right. I think religion can make Black people especially mentally ill, or people of color, I'll say mentally ill because they use it as a crutch, right? And so for me, growing up, it was always about defining my spirituality for myself.
Right.
Because of that, I was like, that's the last thing I want to do is being a slave to the scripture. And that's what they want to happen. So I feel like there's a deeper conversation there
that we cannot
get into because that would be too long. But if you know, you know. Let's just say that.
So what was it for you? What's the thing for you that
being excellent. I thought that I had to be good at everything, and I never gave myself grace when it came to failing. And I don't know, as a child, I guess being the oldest, also being parentified and understanding the things that I did at such a young age And being a Black woman, I felt like I had to overexceed at everything, literally from such a young age. Like I threw myself in every sport growing up. I was in all AP classes, and I excelled at everything that I did. I was always on the A team, on the dance team. I was the captain. Like, and it did cause me to burn out in my adulthood. That's what's funny. And I told you, like, I keep kind of talking about the same thing, but 2024, this past year, me getting sick, that was the burnout I felt. Right. Like, this is my time to relax and not carry that. Because it got to a point where that was working for me. Right. All the way up until like the last 3 years. I started getting resistance because that's also has to do with surviving.
Were you rewarded for your successes? Or was it just like Praise's just going to succeed and no one?
That's deep. Yes, like my mom used to tell me, yeah, she would say, Praise's the bitch. She's gonna be the CEO of Pepsi Cola. She gets older. Like that used to be a joke. Like, so yeah.
So they fed into the I need to be
my grandma does it too. The whole family does. Right. So you have a master's degree because too, a lot of the dreams that I have, I'm very ambitious about them and vocal about them. So it's also part of my personality, but I think it's the familiar role that I've been playing as well. And even for my grandma, it's funny because in 2022, when I had to live with her for 6 months, oh Jesus, I think that made her humanize me more. I think for the first time, she realized that even this person is, I think, in my grandma's eyes, I am who she would want to be in a perfect world. Oh. It gets deep, yeah. And so when she saw me struggling and saw me starting to be vocal about it because I was getting tired, I was like, listen, I'm in a space where I need to ask for y'all's help. Like I don't ever ask for help, but I need help. Right. And it made me, I feel like I humanized myself more, and then it made them see me and humanize me more, actually.
Do you still believe that you need to be perfect, or is that something you struggle with every day?
No, not as of this last year. I've freed myself from, I've broken that barrier. That's why I kept feeling, I felt imprisoned by it.
That's heavy.
It is.
I'm glad. Well, I mean,
heavy.
I mean, I'm glad. I didn't want to start this topic off so heavy,
Ooh,
but
I know. Damn.
I mean, but I am glad that you're like, I've overcome that.
Yeah.
That I've overcome that hurdle.
This podcast is a big part of that too, because I don't have to be perfect. Even you've helped me a lot with that.
What, not being perfect?
Yeah, because like
she's
even
basically saying I'm messy as fuck.
No, no, and that is not what I'm saying. No, listen, I'm saying in the way that like how even today I was like, we got to reschedule, and you were like, no, let's just do it. At least we'll have the content. Like I need people around me who are doing that, and I am finally surrounded by individuals, and so I know I'm in alignment. Like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, but I didn't do this. I haven't edited this yet. Blah 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 blah. And you're like, it's okay. And then you still show up on time. Like you're like, I'm gonna still be there. We're still gonna work it out. It's gonna be fine. And I'm like, but I haven't done this. And you're like, whose timeline are you running up against? Right. It's our timeline and our timeline only. We want to launch it this week. Do it that week. That's helped me so much.
I struggle with that occasionally too. Not to the extent that you struggle with it, but I do think that it's something that in certain periods of my life will rear its head, particularly wanting to be successful at certain things. And I shouldn't even necessarily say successful, but accomplishing certain things, saying that, check this off your list. And there are certain things that I'm still trying to check off my list.
Yeah.
And I do have a tendency at times to beat myself up.
Right.
About those things. But I do have to have moments to say whose timeline am I on. My journey is my journey. I try to remind myself every day, my journey is mine.
Yeah. And that's a good question, I feel like, to ask yourself regularly is like, whose timeline am I on? I'm going to start asking myself that. I'm going to start doing that.
You're on God's time.
Right.
Bring it back to religion.
Listen. Okay, so we talked a little bit about this, but The role of culture, family, and society in shaping our limiting beliefs. How do you think the role of culture and society has shaped our limiting beliefs?
Oh, it shapes it 100%. So, most definitely, growing up in a small town, my small town culture shaped everything.
Same. That's why
And
we're here.
right, and then to make it even more insular, then it's like small town black culture.
Same.
Because, Caucasians and others do what they do, but then we most definitely do what we do. For me, most definitely, how to live was taught through my culture. The men and the women that I saw in the community every day, and also too in my own family, and some of their behaviors weren't necessarily always positive behaviors, but it's what I saw and it's what I grew up with, and so you take that on. You take that on. And I'm pretty sure it's the same for you.
Yeah.
But how to be a man, how to act as a man, how to be in relationships with the opposite sex, how to be in relationships with the same sex. I tell this story all the time because it's it strikes me and it hurts me in a way. Like there's a period that I have a cousin. We were like this. I mean, like this. We did everything together, like every single thing together, like every single thing together. Because I didn't have any brothers. I only have a sister. So in purposes, was like my brother, like the brother that I didn't have, my younger brother, because he's a year younger than me. And I remember distinctively, like around the age of like 12, 13 for us, people were saying things like, "Oh, you all can't do these things together." We were in the way it was almost how females act, right? That shouldn't have to, but like you going to the bathroom together, you doing this thing together. Like we were glued to the hip. And then there was this. I remember very distinctively people say, "Okay, no." And I think for me that it was something that it always bothered me because it was like he was so close. He still is close to me. But like there was clearly like this cultural and social thing of saying this closeness that men can have, this brotherhood that I guess people wanted to pervert. There was nothing perverted about it, but in their mind, it's like, no, two men can't be that close.
So you basically feel like toxic masculinity in the way that it shows up in
Yes,
Black
and
culture.
black culture, and I think in all cultures. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I'm only speaking for myself, but I think that is most definitely a thing, and it's something that I recall like very distinctively, and I remember like from that time of saying like you all can, and it was just like simple things, like silly stuff. That's like who cares, like who cares? Like in my mind, like who cares? Like I would want my sons to have very close relationships with the same sex so people can hold them accountable because again, right, we're taught how we should relate to women and how we
Yeah.
relate to men and stuff. And so I most definitely felt like a separation of our brotherhood that became like really like, I don't even say toxic, but it's like, okay, here we go being men at 13,
Yeah.
and like talking about like who we're dating, who we want to have sex with.
Yeah, you felt you felt like it felt forced
Like I'm a
way.
kid,
Yeah, I'm a kid. Yeah.
I'm a kid, like we're kids. But I mean, like that's what they do, and so the little me still mourns that.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand what you mean. I feel like there's a lot of little complex in Black culture that has affected us in the way
Right.
we shape our beliefs. One of the things you said was hometown, and I wanted because for me that is a big one too. Obviously, we have the same like I feel like legs. Like you got hometown, your culture,
Mm-hmm.
and what else? Just your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, my hometown, I felt like it was a time capsule. Like it was so small and it was military town. Um, so I feel like everybody there kind of has the same beliefs. Like as far as when it comes to following your dreams or wanting something bigger for yourself or following something that you might not be able to achieve in that environment. And for me, it made me want to leave even more because I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like to a degree we all think the same. We all think that we know each other. We're not giving each other any space or room to grow. Right. So we have like, it's just, it's not beneficial to stay here for me and what I want to do. So for me, the very first thing was leaving at 18. Because I realized if I stayed here, it would shape a lot of the beliefs that I had in my adulthood about my ability to achieve my dreams.
Right.
And people are like, oh, but you want to go to New York and struggle? I'm like, no, I want to be in an environment where I feel like myself and like what I can do is actually achievable. And here it makes me feel that way.
Right.
Like I look at the city and all the possibilities and all the people here that are inspiring and all the connections. Right. I'm like, you can't do that there. No offense to you guys. And I'm not trying to shit on my hometown, but
no, we love our hometown.
I love my hometown. Like, definitely love my hometown, but it was not conducive to my growth, at least whatsoever. And going back to Black culture, for me, like I get the toxic masculinity too. And for women, me and my mom had a lot of conversations about what a good wife is or a good woman to a man is. And I totally took a lot of what she said, tore that shit up, threw it in the trash. I was like, I'm just kidding.
She said, not today.
No, but it's different generations, right? And I learned a lot from my mom and my parents' relationship. They have a lovely marriage and they're madly in love. So there's a lot that I take from that. And I think I'm blessed to have a good example of that. But there are some things that, you want to take and some things you want to leave. So if you don't like to cook, if you don't like to do this, like, so what are you providing him? And I'm like, me. Me. My authentic self, my energy, my presence, the hell? And we find other ways that balance our relationship in the masculine and feminine energy. That's not to say I don't cook or women shouldn't cook. Let's not get on that topic, please. Ugh. But I'm just saying, like, there's other ways to create.
Right. And I think also too, with like our cultures and society, people only know what they know. Mm-hmm. And it's almost, I agree with the time capsule thing. You're stuck, and I see it with myself now because I have younger siblings who are of a different generation than me. And so I can clearly see that at this ripe old age, I'm going to tell you what it is. There are certain things that I'm like, well, in my day, this is how you did it. And they're like, well, I'm not doing it because that's stupid.
Right. And that's not how we do
it. Right. And so I'm thinking I was the same way at their age. Because there is a certain point, I think, in life, you reach a certain age, and that either you're continuing to pray for growth or push for growth, or then you just become stagnant.
Yes.
And there are most definitely certain areas in my life that I could afford to push and try to grow. I'm like, no, I was taught this thing. This is what I taught, and it has served me, and I'm not going to change it. Because there are some, I will say, just that there are limiting beliefs. There are beliefs that I'm like, I don't
like therapy was one.
I went to, I go to therapy.
I tell my mom all the time, you do need therapy.
Yes,
like, we all need therapy. It's not about whether you're crazy or not.
Oh, yeah,
but the stigma of therapy, that's a big thing in Black culture. There's just so many little instances.
And and other sites to not talk about your problems. Like, there's this thing. Clearly, if my family is watching this, they're going to say I'm putting too much of my business out in the street. That's another one. Which is a big no-no. It's like you're sitting up here and you're saying all of these things. Because
you're like, but it's coming from my mouth. I had control over the narrative.
That's but also, too, I think I recognize actually, I'm going to tell this story. This is another thing, right? So when Facebook, aging myself. So before Facebook opened Facebook up to everyone, it was just open to college students, whatever. And so when they opened the floodgates and let everyone on, eventually my mom joined, and I was like, I need to get off of this thing, right? But I had photo albums of different parties that I attended in college. And so some of her work
Oh my God.
friends started to like go through albums
Oh
because I
my
didn't lock my
gosh.
page. It was before you had all of the settings and
Uh-huh.
stuff. And she got really upset that people were making comments about some of the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't doing anything but like drinking or whatever,
College
being
kid
a
stuff.
college kid,
Yeah.
right? And then never forget that she was really upset. Not that I did it, but like she had a problem with what people thought of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, in my mind, like, I don't care, but I get why it's such a big deal to her because she's in this smaller environment
Mm-hmm.
and she sees me as a reflection of her.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? From now on, I'm gonna make everything
Yeah.
private.
I mean, it's generational. Yeah,
It
right?
is.
It's
It
and
is.
this is for like every culture too.
Right, right,
Like
right.
there's going to be things that like trickle down from generation to generation. Like in my family, in terms of being a woman, like my great grandmother believes a woman always wears stockings, skirts, and red lipstick. And when I shaved my head the first time, me and my mom, she's like, "Oh my gosh!" Especially me, you had all that pretty hair. Why would you shave your head? You know. My mom, she's like, "You didn't have too much hair," but I'm just kidding. But that's how they are, though. Really, that
Right.
you had all that pretty hair. Why would you shave your head? And I'm just like, because it's a style and I wanted to. And then it goes down to my grandma then teaching my mom, like, we always have to be the best dressed. You always got to be articulate on your P's
Mm-hmm.
and Q's.
Mm-hmm.
And so that then came down to my mom. And even though she was never that hard on us because she made it an actual effort to be the opposite of that, which also had its perks and
Pros and cons.
pros and cons.
Yeah.
Well, one of the cons I meant being that we ended up kind of becoming her best friends in a way, and I felt like she shared too much with us in
Right.
order to try to protect us. She's like, my kids aren't going to find out on the streets; they're going to find out from me. And I'm like, Mom, I do not need to learn about herpes at 10. But
She said that. Yes, she did.
yeah, right. Had I known that, I still would have been innocent about sex. I still would have known what it really is.
Right.
So, like, you took away part of my innocence by like putting us in that position, but that's neither here or there. But yeah, there's like all of these. I feel like there's so many.
Well, also to part of the your we get beliefs from who the adults in our lives who are rearing us because they think that they are looking out for us. And so whatever their
Yeah,
fears
that is
are,
true.
or their fears and their traumas are, they will most definitely pass that on to you. Or in your
Mm-hmm.
mom's case, they'll do the reverse and say, I'm not,
I'm
but
gonna try to
then
be the
try to
opposite.
overcorrect and create sometimes other issues. And so I think it's healthy as an adult to always question how you were raised.
Mm-hmm.
But your family probably had great intentions when
Oh
raising
yeah.
you, but also to recognizing that there's probably unprocessed trauma and other things within that rearing.
So I know that I'm unlearning and like relearning right now because it's like I was even driving today and I was like, I feel like a new person. Like I have appreciation and gratitude for Prasia a year ago, but I laugh because I'm like, oh, cringe. It was like she was really doing that. Or she really thought that way. I'm like, wow, it's so interesting. It's different when you have a different environment, different friend group, and you set boundaries and you unlearn all of those things in the life that you can create and build for yourself.
And sometimes unlearning takes a lifetime. I'm still unlearning.
Yeah, and I know listen, we that is life. Life is
Right,
this
right,
is
right, right,
life.
right.
Like learning, relearning, and unlearning and relearning. That's life.
Hmm. I don't know why that made me really sad.
But
He said, "That's life, relearning and unlearning, relearning." I shouldn't say
yeah,
it made
for
me sad, but
everybody.
it just resonated something in me that
Hmm.
I have to keep doing the work.
Oh, that you,
That
yeah,
yeah,
that you
that there's
can
there's
get,
always work that must be done.
yeah.
You know,
It's also about giving ourselves grace because we have a whole lifetime to learn these things.
do we have a whole lifetime?
Well, if
We
not,
live a
then
long,
everything
healthy
that we
life.
learned is what we were supposed to learn here on this earth.
Well, sometimes I mean, for those whose lives are cut short,
Sure,
sometimes
yeah,
it is.
yeah, that's
Um,
or that happens so someone can learn something else. But
Something
that's
else.
something
That's a different episode,
theory.
right?
How do you know when it's time to give up a belief? Good question.
How do I know when it's time for me to give up a belief?
Mm-hmm.
When it causes me pain.
Mm.
And so back to the opening thing that I said, when I realized that I was miserable, and like my main misery was because of my belief system, I'm like, why do I believe this? Not being my authentic self. What purpose is there for me to believe this thing if I'm miserable? It doesn't bring me any joy. It doesn't make me feel good. It may make others feel good, but it's not making me feel good. So,
Yeah.
what purpose does it serve me? And why do I believe this thing?
Right. So the pain creates the opportunity for you to be honest with yourself,
right?
and really like do a reflection on why it is that you think this way.
So
and what is causing you in your life.
That's one measure. If it's bringing me pain, also if it's bringing other people pain. So if I believe something and I know that it's hurting others around me, then I question that because I don't want to live a life where I hurt people. There's nothing in the world that says to me that a belief is so strong that it should bring suffering and pain to other people. And if it's doing that, that's the biggest red flag for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's internal friction. So the pain, it could be pain, it could be resistance, like an internal feeling of resistance, like an internal feeling of friction. Like I just feel like anxiety. I feel it in my gut that this is something that I need to grow from, move away from, or move through, whatever it may be. But it's that feeling of, sometimes it's even physical pain. Like I'll feel it in my neck, my back, and it's like this belief system is causing me physical pain. Sometimes it is how it shows up in my external life that reflects to me that I need to do something about it internally.
Right.
So if something keeps happening externally that I do not want to happen, and it has to do with a theme that is reoccurring in my life, I'm like, okay, let's take a moment to be honest. And this is continuously happening for a reason, or showing up in your life in this way, in the way that you don't want it to, for a reason, even though you say that this is what you're attracting. And it's probably not because of something that you believe about yourself to be true. It's not true. Or that just needs to be tweaked a little bit. So for me, it's like my body.
Right.
I would say.
The body knows.
The body knows. I'm a very like, if you did my human body chart, like I'm like closed body wise.
What's the human body chart?
It's basically a chart that has a body graph, and it tells you your 7 chakras. It tells you what's defined and what's open. So if it's your throat chakra's open, your heart chakra's open.
How does the chart know?
And then it's connected to all of these different.
Wait, how does the chart know? How do you?
It gets your birthday, the day you were born, where you were born. Yeah.
Wait.
I have to show you. It's really cool. That was a lot. Dance break.
Wait, this time you get to. I'm gonna pause this timer.
Corinne Bailey Ray? That's who you be listening to?
Don't judge my music choices.
What you got in your library?
Don't
go in the library.
Don't go in the library. There's nothing.
Songs.
Stop it.
Oh, he's a godly man.
I am very godly.
You don't got nothing in here.
No, I don't save a whole lot of songs.
Metamorphosis?
What is Metamorphosis?
I don't think I'm in your music. Oh my God. No.
Frazier.
The killer is escaping.
Yeah, she got jokes on my music.
This is Gavin's music. I don't know how I ended up there. I don't even know what app this is. Like,
this is Amazon Music.
Who listens to Amazon?
Me. Let's type in an artist.
Guys, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
Game time.
Woo!
That was nice. All right, so this time instead of saying playing this or that, we're playing fact or fiction. All right, belief edition.
Lies.
All right, so I'm going to give you some common beliefs, and you have to tell me if it's fact or fiction, and give me, a couple words or sentence about why you think it is that.
Okay.
All right. You can be whatever you want to be. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Money is the root of all evil.
Fact.
You must have your life together by 30.
Fiction.
Happiness is something you find, not something you create.
Fiction.
Cutting off toxic family members is selfish. I don't know why I said it like that.
Cutting off toxic family members is selfish.
Ooh. I feel like we're going to definitely have to get back to that.
That is fact.
Your purpose is something you have to find, not something you create. That's a good one.
The purpose is something you have to find.
Not create. Not something you create.
I'd say fact.
Fear and doubt mean you're on the wrong path.
Fiction.
Once you step into your purpose, everything will fall into place easily.
Fiction.
Okay, so you can be whatever you want to be. You said fact.
That is true. You can be whatever you want to be.
You can. Money is the root of all evil. Why?
I know some people say that the love of money is the root of all evil, but I think what money represents, so in its nature, it brings out more bad than it does good.
Okay. You must have your life together by 30.
That's a damn lie. That's fiction.
Yeah.
I barely got my life together now.
Right? Listen. Same. Happiness is something you find, not something you create.
What did I say to that?
You said fact, I think.
No, fiction. Happiness is something that you create. You create your own happiness. Yeah. If you're unhappy, you have the power to create it.
Yeah, it's crazy how we use find your happiness so often. But it's not my turn, but you're right. Cutting off toxic family members is selfish.
I said
you said fact.
I said
why?
Fact.
Especially in your case, I'm really curious to know.
I have this thing where I am in life is about taking 100% accountability. And what I am accountable for are my actions. My actions, what I say, what I do, and how I respond to things. And toxic is toxic, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to cut you off in order to deal with you. I think that if you're a person who walks in truth and who are accountable for your actions, who honors their word and who create boundaries, that alone will check somebody who's toxic.
And I feel like you can do that. And I agree with you on account of myself, because I feel like, I feel like that takes a different spiritual level. And it's not for everyone.
Well,
some people aren't capable.
Well, if you're not capable, then you're going to always find yourself cutting people off because they're toxic, because that means there's something in you that you've not yet developed and discovered to say that just like I create my happiness, I create my security, and I also create my safety.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know I agree and I disagree. I agree from the standpoint of what you said, like if you set boundaries and you are on a certain level where you're capable of doing that, to do that, but you can't control other people. So sometimes it does get to a point where there are certain situations where you're like, this person might just have to be left over there. We don't need to have a relationship. Because I don't have a relationship with a lot of my family members, but it's not because I cut them off.
That's what I mean.
It's just I don't feel like I need to do anything. Yeah, I don't need to.
But there are people that I'm going to go through, and I'm going to block my mom and my dad and my siblings and all of them because it's just evil and toxic people. Do you really need to do all of that?
And for some people, they do though. Because you're right, they need to heal. There's still something within them that they have not recognized and healed from yet. And sometimes having connection to that person, or they got to go through all these things, making it seem like they're unbothered or disconnecting to that person, to really take a look at what it is that is making them feel so controlled.
I mean, to each his own.
Yeah.
It's too much energy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, leave me the fuck alone.
I guess we're saying the same thing, actually.
We are saying the same. Yeah. We are saying the same thing, but there are people who most definitely go through life, or they've had situations, as you say, and they literally go through and they just block everyone. I think we are saying similar things, but yes, so I'd say that, yeah, I'd stick by my answer.
Yeah, no, that's a good conversation. So you said, oh, your purpose is something you have to find, not something you create. You thought about that one. I don't remember if you said fact or fiction.
No, I think I said you can create your purpose. Sometimes you discover that as like at this stage in your life, this is thing that you're destined to, I won't say destined, but needs to be done in this moment. And if it needs, there is a need for it, there is a purpose for it. Mm-hmm. And then as you grow and as you evolve and move through things, you may realize that that thing that you were doing now no longer serves you or what it is that you're doing, and so the purpose may be something else. Yeah. So I think being able to recognize that rather than saying, it goes back to this whole thing about identity. So I remember asking you, like, does your identity change? Remember I said, like, and I feel like I have those moments because there are periods in my life where the purpose in my life is not to be the thing that I may identify as. Right. And some of my identities are tied into my purpose. But I may be in a different era of my life that I'm doing something, and it's like this is the purpose. This is the thing. This is the thing I need to do in this moment to accomplish. And so that when you look, take a look back over your life, you realize you have done the things that you were called and meant to do. Yeah, that's a good answer. Fear and doubt mean you're on the wrong path. I said that was fiction. I say that because when you travel down the path, even if it's a path that you know that you're supposed to be on, there can always be nervousness and fear simply because we don't know what lies ahead. So sometimes that fear is just healthy of I'm moving on this thing and I want things to work out. Yeah. Like we said, use fear as your compass. We said that last episode. Look at us bringing it back. Once you step into your purpose, everything will fall into place easily. Lies. Fat fiction. No. Fiction. Fat fiction. I like that. It's fat fiction. It's fiction. Yeah. That is not the truth. You know it's hard out here for a pill. Trying to make some money for the rent. Hey. Fact or fiction? You can be whatever you want to be. Fact. Money is the root of all evil. Fiction. You must have your life together by 30. Fiction. Happiness is something you find, not something you create. Fiction. Cutting off toxic family members is selfish. Fiction. Your purpose is something you have to find, not something you create. Your purpose is something you have to find, not something you create. Fact. Fear and doubt mean you're on the wrong path. Fiction. Once you step into purpose, everything will fall into place easily. Fact. Fiction. Okay, for the first one, you said you can be whatever you want to be. You said fact. Because do not let them tell you otherwise. You can be whatever it is that you want to be. Period. Next one. Money is the root of all evil. You said fiction. Yeah, because I feel like we have to dispel that stigma around money. Because sometimes, for me at least, I feel like it could create a scarcity mindset. And I feel like greed is actually the root to all evil. I feel like there are some very greedy people out here. And that's what makes money evil. It's because you want to use it usually to do something evil for more money. So, and money can be used as a tool to do a lot of great things and to help a lot of great people. And there are people out there who do it. It's just that the ones we hear most about are using it for evil and they are greedy. Okay. You don't agree? We can agree to disagree. I mean, I agree that most things that are evil have to do with money. I'm not saying that's not true, but I'm not going to say money is the root to all evil. I feel like that's very You hear those crickets? This is a good question because I was like, I know that some people will say that the love of money is the root of all evil. As you said, that greed is the root of all evil. But money is probably the one of the few things that people just go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over.
Well, money is a frequency. We're in a capitalistic country. But that's two separate statements. One, we're in a capitalistic country.
Yes, that is
Two,
true.
money is a frequency. So it's kind of like you have to define for what it means to you. It's kind of like it's a good one because it's a belief. Like if what we're seeing, especially as Americans, is evil when it has to do with money, it's all we're gonna think. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I can hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
You must have your life together by 30. You said that's fiction.
It's fiction because if so, I failed. Oh, like it's okay.
Happiness is something you find, not something you create. You said that's fiction.
Yeah, that's another one we have to dispel because they teach us find your happiness.
Mm-hmm.
No, create your happiness. You can be happy at any given point in time. You just have to want to be happy and create it. So do something that makes you feel happy.
Facts. Cutting off family members is selfish. You said that's fiction.
Yeah, because I feel like it's to each its own, and it depends on the situation. It's very situational. So if we're talking about past hurt and trauma, I agree with you. Most cases, there is healing that you can do so that you don't have to completely cut off your toxic family members. And I also feel like you can do it in a toxic way. Like I agree, if you're just going and blocking everyone, that maybe that is a little toxic and it is a little selfish because you're only thinking about yourself. But if there's an actual situation, like if someone hurt you physically, then you should absolutely cut that person off.
Mm-hmm. Your purpose is something you have to find, not something you create.
I feel like even when you know your purpose, you're still finding your purpose. But I feel like both are true because you have to create to find your purpose. You're not creating your purpose, you're just creating, and then you're finding your purpose through creating. Okay. So that's why I'll say fact.
Fear and doubt means you're on the wrong path. You said fiction.
Yeah, I actually think it's the opposite. It means you're on the right path because nothing good comes easy.
Right. Once you've stepped into your purpose, Prasia, everything will easily fall into place.
Hell no. Things are getting more complicated and intricate and tricky. You gotta learn and discover all these new things about yourself.
What are you doing?
I have no idea.
What's going on?
I don't know, but no, that's a lie.
Okay. Well, this is good. This is a good chat.
Yeah, this was a good chat.
This is a lot.
It was a lot. So much for it. Yeah, I feel like this episode we kind of got deep. Well, like yeah. But that's good. That means with each episode we're getting more vulnerable. And I'll still make sure it comes out tasteful, obviously.
Ain't nobody trying to be vulnerable with y'all. Y'all not being vulnerable with us.
First episode, Gavin was saying he can't dish out any dirt to y'all. Now look at where we come.
Zero dirt. You get nothing
by the end of the season, we're gonna have a nice, open, and vulnerable Gavin.
No, you
Pause.
won't.
That sounds real.
Wait, we got the empowerment board. We're going too far down the rabbit hole. An empowerment board. The lights are shutting
the lights are telling us it's time to get the fuck. Okay, now that the lights are off, we're still gonna finish this, guys. We end each week with an affirmation. So this week I'm gonna let you decide.
I affirm to let go of things that no longer serve me. Yourself. Let go of things that no longer serve you.
Why did I write that right there?
Even if they were true at one point in time. I needed that.
That's one of the biggest things. People think because they were away, and that's how people define them, that they have to continue to hold on to that. Let it go. Let it go. They can't hold back anymore.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys. All right, so that's episode 3. Pray for growth.
Pray for growth.
Where growth
This
is a journey, so
let's
let's keep learning.
This is fun.
It was. We'll see you guys
Next time. And don't forget to
like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever it is that
all
you
it
do.
is that you do.
Yeah, fine.
Why was you jumping? You was on the edge of the chair.